they've brought in one guy of consequence over the last couple of years, and that was Oscar Boniek Garcia, and he was there for their MLS Cup title run in 2012. They haven't really done anything else. They've had Will Bruin forever. They've had Ricardo Clark for forever. They don't have Brian Ching anymore. They've had Tally Hall for a couple of years. It's basically the same team that's, played together for a while. And if you're a league like the NBA and you're the San Antonio Spurs, you can get away with that because, not everybody's getting better every year in the NBA. But MLS, the goal is for everybody to get better every year. If we want to hit Don Garber's 2022 best league in the world goal thing.
Oh, Jesus, come on. Okay. Conversely, I mean, my dislike of, or not dislike, but my feelings about Houston are primarily about the way they play. Them not changing their team dramatically doesn't seem particularly bad because everybody lauds RSL for doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, but RSL is really, really good. Houston is one of those teams.
Houston has also gone to more MLS Cup finals in the past 5 years than RSL. So, I mean, yes, we know that it's not pretty the way they're playing, but the objective measurements say that Houston is actually probably a better team.
I would objectively disagree. Because I feel like, because they've been the 5th place team in the East for 3 straight years.
Yeah, well, so that's an interesting thing, is what do you value? Do you value the playoff performance in the MLS Cup, or do you value standings in the final table and Supporters Shield? Because until very recently, the Supporters Shield was kind of an afterthought, and the Cup was the big thing. That seems to be slowly changing with rewards being given to the top team in each conference now, like the CCL berth. But it's still... I think the MLS Cup is still the thing, and Houston's done very, very well in it. So I don't know.
I just don't put much faith into.
I'm not sticking up for Houston, but I'm just saying that you shouldn't rag on them for having the same people, because continuity is a good thing, and that's something that doesn't happen in MLS. That's a lot of people, even players, Thierry Henry among them, very critical of the lack of continuity, the salary cap, and other, MLS funny rules things make teams get rid of players that they want to keep, they want to develop, etc. So,
well, I mean, if we're comparing RSL and Houston, I mean, it's sort of, I guess there is a prejudice against Houston regarding the style of play because I kind of hate it too.
Oh yeah, it's hateable. You can hate it.
Yeah.
Whereas, RSL system is supposed to be pretty, and it's supposed to take advantage of the things that RSL does in abundance, right? Be able to keep possession and keep people off their back line with Beckerman. And, well, how long has RSL had Saborio, though? Because I feel like he hasn't been there forever, and he's a huge part of what they do.
He is, but he's not like I think he's been there 3 years.
He scored 20 goals last year.
I thought it was 18. I don't know. I don't know if you're including the playoffs in there.
Close to.
Yeah, he did very well.
I know it might be, yeah.
But yeah, I mean I'm not Wikipedia in these. But yeah, they have made some changes. I mean, Houston's also by necessity made some changes as well. Yes, so Saborio has been with Salt Lake since 2010.
Okay, so he has been there since the
right
year
after they won. Yeah.
They won the MLS Cup, which is it's kind of funny when you think about RSL. They have an MLS Cup, and they certainly deserve one, but not the one that they won.
I'm going to cut that conversation off before it gets going.
Not the one that they want? What do you mean?
No, not the one that they won. Because when they won in 2009, they had a losing record.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm going to introduce a new segment that may never happen again. We're going to call it the lightning round. So, I'm going to start a stopwatch, and I'm going to give you 60 seconds to talk about each topic, and we'll see how much we can power through here.
Oh, crap.
So, ready? Much ado about Yankee Stadium. Let's talk about it.
Oh, we're only talking about this for a minute?
Go, Ian, go! Hurry up, your time!
Okay. So, literally every single American soccer commentator on Twitter was talking about this yesterday, about how the New York City FC is going to be playing Yankee Stadium for 3 years, minimum, maximum, I don't know, depending on when their stadium deal gets done. And everyone's like, oh no, they got a schedule with the Yankees, and the field's going to be crap, and it's going to look like shit. to everybody who's watching, and it's going to look like shit to people who would possibly come for New York to play for New York City, but now they're not gonna because the field's going to be crap and there's going to be like temporary grass over the diamond infield, and the Yankees fans are going to be mad because
20 seconds, Ian.
anytime the Yankees lose, they'll blame it on New York City FC for playing soccer there for some reason, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's overblown, and I feel like the whole goal isn't necessarily to put out. Obviously, they want to win their first couple of years, but the whole goal is to, get the attention of New York City proper, which the Red
The
Bulls
biggest
quite
media
honestly
market in the
haven't done.
country.
Exactly, it's the biggest media market, and it's the cultural capital of the United States. Honestly.
Perfect. All right. Speaking of media capitals, how about MLS in Atlanta that we're going to hear about tomorrow? Topic number 2. Go.
Oh,
It's a really risky move, I think. Arthur Blank hasn't shown that he's really invested in soccer beyond having a second tenant for his football stadium. I am very skeptical of this working out nearly as well as it did in Seattle. I think it's going to feel more like a New England situation. He may put a little bit more money into the team, but I don't think that he's going to care about them or advertise them or do as much to help.
Bang on. You have to bring in someone like Hanauer, right? You have to bring in a soccer crazy second owner so that Blank can keep focusing on the Falcons and let somebody who actually cares run the team.
Yeah.
Can we talk about? Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Can we talk about how it seems like MLS is taking a lot of risks with these expansions, right? New York City FC playing in Yankee Stadium for 3 years, Atlanta playing in the Falcon Stadium for the foreseeable future once they start playing, and that's two ownership groups. Which we talk about. You talk about Hanauer. The successful ownership groups in MLS, RSLs, their primary focus is RSL. Portland, Seattle, Kansas City, they have one focus. When that doesn't happen, like in Colorado or in New York to a lesser extent, or Dallas or Columbus or any of those things, things get lost. In New England especially, DC's new ownership was supposed to be all, we're taking care of DC now, but then he goes out and buys Inter Milan, and it's like, oh, well, Inter Milan's my new plaything. DC, you guys can go screw yourselves.
Yeah, it's great to get a soccer crazy owner. It's nice to be a soccer crazy owner who loves the team that he just bought, as opposed to another team, which is probably a lot more glamorous and profitable and better vehicle for his ambition.
Yeah, they play in Champions League. We don't play. Well, we do.
Hey, you're gonna play in the Champions League.
Right? That's better.
All right. Moving on, we have a new topic. Dennis's NYCFC conspiracy theory.
What?
Okay, so here it is. This is a theory I've got the other day. Okay, so here MLS bought back Chivas from LA. I say that NYFC FC, I can't even pronounce it right now, owners are probably getting scared because they may see that a market may not support two teams, and they don't want to build a permanent stadium when, in 5 years it might just dilapidate and might not be in use because of what happened in Chivas. This is something I heard over the weekend, and I thought it was very interesting.
But $100 million to get into MLS.
Can I put in Josh's NYCFC conspiracy theory?
Yes.
Okay. There has been a bunch of yammering going on around the UEFA Champions League, UEFA Champions League, because Thibaut Courtois, who is the goalie for Atletico Madrid, is owned by Chelsea. Comes out, Chelsea owns about 40 players that are on loan all around Europe. They have to get those players out of their main club in order to meet the financial fair play rules. Manchester City bought a team in Australia and a team in MLS for exactly the same reason. They need to get rid of players so they don't get Man City penalized. That's the reason why they bought NYCFC. It's not that they care about America that much. I mean, it's nice, but their real goal is to have a farm team. They have a Chivas-like team. It's going to be much higher quality talent, but they need to get players that are young and developing or old, but that they want to still keep on the books out of Manchester to avoid financial fair play penalties. So that's why they have that team. Building a new stadium and all that stuff, I think, is something that they might do if it, for some reason, strikes their fancy or takes off. But I think the real goal for them is avoiding major penalties in the competitions in Europe.
We got a pretty solid conspiracy theory between the both of us going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is
We're
a
gonna-
very, very interesting one that kind of scares me and makes a shit ton of sense, Josh.
Let's jump back to Atlanta. We saw some colors today on Reddit just before we got started about some free swag that's going to go out. It looks like it matches the colors on the announcements. What's the thoughts there?
Red and blue. It's like the Braves.
No.
Done.
No.
Thought over.
It's not red and blue. It's red and
Isn't there
black.
yellow in there?
What?
Isn't there yellow in there?
Yeah, there's yellow in there.
Josh,
I thought it
check
was finally
the
yet in
colors.
red.
Talking about. Josh out.
I think it certainly points to the idea that people have mentioned about it possibly being the Phoenix or, what was the other one? Phoenix or...
The Firebirds?
Firebirds, yeah, which I love the idea of that whole connotation of like an 80s Firebird with a blown out window and like PBR. I love that idea.
As long as they have
The
flames
shirt
on their
in the
sleeves.
picture is blue. That's what I got this from. Okay,
So
you're right.
if-
The scarf is red and yellow.
If we have the Chicago fire and we have the San Jose earthquakes, why are we not getting the Atlanta Shermans?
Ooh. Because people down there still get angry about that.
They, they do actually.
They'll still kick your ass for that.
They will. All right.
Anything else we want to talk about?
Oh, Don Garber. He's sick. We should. Yeah.
Get well
Yeah.
soon, Don.
Definitely
Yeah,
soon.
get better. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people hate him, but I mean he's done good for the league.
They
so
shouldn't
give
though.
him that,
He's
right?
he's like he is the best.
I think he's great, man.
the
but
best commissioner in American sports.
Agreed. Fully agreed. 60 more seconds. This is going to be our last thing, and then we're going to get to a really interesting interview. Real quick, can we talk about the suspension, no suspension for Gonzalez in Columbus?
Well, Chris isn't here, so we can't like.
Well, it's a pretty big discussion on Reddit today, though.
That's true.
He
Even
shoved
Chris-
Wondolowski, but that's I don't know. That
So-
happens quite a bit. I don't.
So that was one of the few games I watched all of, and it didn't look that bad. And then I watched it again, and it still didn't look that bad. And then
Wait. Are we talking about the shove or the dive after? Because the outrage is that he should have been suspended for the dive or the simulation. Yeah, as a strong stance that the league can take that looking for cards and looking for that sort of thing is just not okay. He was fined for that, not for the elbow.
So I feel like I feel like we're being harsher on people who dive in the box on the other side, and I think that's fine. But that wasn't like he wasn't in the San Jose area when that happened. San Jose was in his area.
Well, no, it was a dead play. He was purely looking for a call against Wando.
Yeah,
No, I understand that, but I'm saying I think the impetus is to punish people who are looking for penalties by doing that, and that's not what he was doing.
Yeah.
He was looking for a regular call.
Mhm.
I don't know if
That's
like
fair.
maybe that shouldn't be, but that totally is because penalties are huge and goals are big. And I remember way back when we had Charlie Davies, he got fined and even suspended once for simulation in the box that actually got him a penalty.
Yeah, if you have a
against LA.
possibility of a double punishment with the denial of a goal scoring and the penalty kick, like if you can possibly be sent off and given a PK for a simulation, then I fully agree that we should be going after those guys. So you do make a good point that it wasn't to gain a kick, that it was simply kind of action against Wando.
And those seem like the things that the disciplinary committee is looking more closely at. That said, it's a really scumbag move. So
don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
I hope he gets some retribution of some kind karmically later on.
It's cheating at soccer. That's all it
Yeah.
is. It's cheating at soccer. If I cheat on my taxes, the government comes and they take me away. So
you should
same
move to the
thing.
States. We don't really care.
Speaking of
It's the
taxes,
same thing.
Speaking
There's no
of taxes, yeah.
So guys, you got
taxes, though?
anything to throw out before we move to the interview portion?
Let's.
I love you guys.
Let me
Aw.
let me find some topic that we can spend 20 minutes on, and then.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, we can go back to trashing on Houston if that's the plan.
That did seem very unanimous.
It was fun. Does anyone give a shit about the salary things? I don't
Nobody
know
gives
enough.
a shit.
I don't know enough about math
I didn't
Well,
see anything too
Taylor-
crazy.
Taylor-
Taylor Twellman came out and said again, like he does every single year, that you can't trust them. They don't actually show what's really happening. You know.
Hey, are you telling me I can't trust Eddie Pope? I will fight you. I will fight you.
You know, one thing that I always notice in the salary releases is that year after year, Portland gets called the second or third or fourth most valuable franchise in MLS, and they still spend so little money. I don't. I mean, it's great. But I don't know.
I understand.
I would like some
it's good for your
designated
team,
players
right?
at this point. Yeah.
Right, but you want something. You want to see some awesomeness happening on the pitch, right?
I mean,
At the end of the day.
if you guys are rolling with 20,874 fans a game, and that's gonna
Plus a waiting list of
that's
what for
never-
season tickets?
and that's never ever gonna change, why spend money on players? You just
That's true. You know, that's something that I wonder about with the. Well, okay, I don't want to derail this salary cap into my conspiracy theories about what's really going on inside.
about Merritt Paulson. Merritt Paulson will angry tweet you
And then delete it
and
immediately.
delete.
Yeah, I'm sure. No, but I think I mean, if you're Merritt Paulson, like, you're set. You know, he is making a lot of money on the Timbers, and I know that he loves the team and the franchise and all that, but also, like, he could put chimps out and he would still sell out the stadium, and
True.
you know, it's like there's very little you could do to derail that thing. He set it up very, very well, and at this point, like, sometimes I just get this image of him, like, sitting in the director's box just counting money and, like, every once in a while looking out on the field.
I mean,
Like,
you guys,
God damn, I
2012.
really did good.
In 2012, you did put chimps out.
I mean, you guys almost sold out for the Make-A-Wish Foundation game in the middle of a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to try. So
I
the
can't
ambition
hate-
level there is kind of.
I'm never gonna trash on that. That was one of the most heartwarming.
The best
things
thing
I've
ever.
seen.
Yeah.
That was
That was
just
pretty
amazing.
awesome.
It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so the salary release, I always look at those and I kind of go like, yeah, I just they're very conservative. I guess I understand.
Okay.
A well-run
well,
club.
our poorly executed lightning round is officially over, and let's move into the interview portion. So I'm going to hand that over to Ian, as he's our interview master.
Oh dear. No, I'm just the guy who books the interviews. I'm not actually the one who runs them. No. So we have with us today John. John is on the line with us now.
Hello.
No mic.
Oh no, is he? Hold on. Yeah, we can't hear you.
I'm seeing Dennis's light bulb.
Yeah.
Gotta take off.
Oh, bye, Dennis.
Bye, Dennis.
I don't know how.
I don't know.
Just press the red button, Dennis. Okay, there he goes. He figured out the red button.
All right, John, you're on mute. We need you to unmute there.
Dun, 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 dun.
Can you hear me now?
Still on mute.
That's not. No, it's not on mute anymore because the icon disappeared. We're just not hearing him anymore.
Oh.
Right.
Hmm.
So, as someone who always has microphone problems, but doesn't this year, because, yeah.
Oh, wait. Is that you, Josh?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Can you hear me now?
So check your settings. See what the microphone setting is.
Yeah.
And see if that.
John Leonard muted Pete Mitchell. Wow.
Oh no! Already.
Wait.
Who invited this guy? What's going
Oh, that
on?
was amazing. That was amazing.
Wait, can I just?
Can you just want
Can you
to
guys
mute
hear now?
people? Well, you muted yourself.
Apparently, I can wantonly mute myself. Oh, look at that.
Oh. Oh man. Oh man, that's good stuff. How do I can't unmute him now. This doesn't make any sense. Josh, I can't unmute you. I think you have to do
unmute
it.
yourself.
Josh, I can't unmute you. I think you have to do it.
Unmute yourself.
You have to unmute yourself. You have to do it yourself. That would be funny. It would just